So, by definition, a talking head is something that normally a reporter or a commentator does, and it's viewed sort of close up, more like that. I am neither a professional commentator or reporter, but I do enjoy a talking head from time to time. If you watch my vlogs, you'd know that. What can I say? I'm talkative. Yesterday, my mom told me that I could have a conversation with a brick wall if I had to. But on a serious note, the reason why I like doing these talking heads is because I feel like it gives me an outlet to just speak my mind. It's like therapy in a weird way. It really is like a therapy session, and it gives me the opportunity to build a relationship with my viewers, with you, my audience. With that being said, obviously starting off Vlogmas Day 3 with a talking head. I think I'm gonna call these a Colin head. Or is that weird? Benny thinks it's weird because he was barking. Today's Colin head is about professional wrestling. It is going to be all about my professional wrestling career. I want to start off by sort of giving a little backstory. If you don't know, my mom got me into professional wrestling when I was about 6 years old. I was going through a difficult time, and one night, on a Friday night, my mom showed me Friday Night SmackDown. And I had been really into theatrics. I loved dressing up. I loved Kiss. I loved their face paint. That was one of my favorite things growing up as a kid. And seeing professional wrestling sort of encapsulated that theatrical, over-the-top vibe that as a child I was very much into. So that translated into me wanting to pursue pro wrestling as a career. And for a good portion of my life, that was all I did. I dedicated my entire life to pro wrestling. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to experience that world and really immerse myself into that world. One thing about me is when I start something, I don't want to just be average. I want to be the best. That is my attitude. So I took it extremely seriously for the majority of my adult life. And I'm grateful for the pro wrestling career that I've had thus far. I've met a lot of my best friends who will be my friends for life. They're my family now. I met them through pro wrestling. Guys like Steve Azure, Coach Mamone, Phil Cardigan, Jack Tomlinson, Dante Drago, Steve Somerset, Donnie Dixon, Carlo Weiss. The list can actually go on and on, so I apologize if I left anybody out, but I have met a lot of my really close friends through wrestling. I've also got to experience some pretty amazing things. I've got to travel all over the world. It's really a privilege that I was able to do that. I went to Canada, I went to Georgia, Florida, all the way up and down the East Coast. You name it, I've probably been there once or twice or 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I've been there. I've been everywhere. I've been to a lot of places, and I've been very fortunate that I've been able to do it doing something that I love. Also, a really cool part of being able to be a pro wrestler is meeting new people. I'm talking about the fans that I've met, and my fan base has really been extremely loyal, and I thank all of you for that. I really consider all of you a massive part of my life. You know, you've really supported me from the very beginning, and it's something that I definitely don't take lightly. It's not something that's lost on me. The fact that I get to have all of these sort of random people in my life as really members of a community that I've built. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm getting all emotional and deep, and it's because all good things have to come to an end. And I didn't even really plan on doing this on today's vlog. It just kind of like was something that really happened last minute. But I think for now I'm done wrestling. Yeah, that's not easy to say because wrestling has really been a part of my life for a very long period of time. But the reason why I got into wrestling was, one, I wanted to make it my career and I was really passionate about it, but two, I really enjoyed doing it. I had such a fun time being in front of people and just being over the top and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. And over the last few months, wrestling to me just felt like a job. And that's not why I got into wrestling. I got into wrestling to have fun and to enjoy myself. And over the last few months, it's felt more like a chore. Let's put it that way. It's felt more like a chore to show up to these shows, and it has nothing to do with my fan base or really anything like that. It is just something that has been inside of me, you know? I lost the spark, I guess you could say. So, yeah. With all of that being said, the joke in pro wrestling is that you never actually retire from professional wrestling. You know, The Undertaker probably in his head said that he was done 10 times and then he kept going out. Same thing with Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair. I'm not trying to compare myself to the greats, but on a grand level, these things happen, right? Like, people say they're going to retire and then they end up coming back. So I'm not going to say that I'm retiring from pro wrestling. It's just a farewell for now. I think I just need some time. I need some space, you know? It's like we're on a break. Pro wrestling and I were on a break. Anywho, thank you for listening to this long talking head. Like I said, this is really therapy for me. So I guess I really owe all of you who are watching a large amount of money to pay your salary, since you're going to be my therapist from now on.